artists dream of getting rich in this business and avoiding the broke status that comes along with it. So you set out on those dreams and you're hopeful and optimistic about a lot of these things happening. And we've all been here before, but there's always something in the back of your mind that says, well, what if something happens and I don't actually get the money or I lose the money? And you have all these anxieties that are building up in the back of your mind. Don't let that happen, right? So we're going to address a couple steps that you can put in place to actually avoid that status coming up right here on the Music Money Makeover Show. All right, first things first is you want to make your profits from music and invest elsewhere. After smart artists make their profits from records, songs, and shows, they invest in other opportunities, putting their money to work elsewhere. These artists understand that attention is fleeting and the sacrifices required to remain in the spotlight are hefty, even if you've kept your soul. So it's best to start saving early and reinvesting soon after success hits. So if you're brand new and you're like 6 figures and under in revenue from the music industry, you just want to save your money, man. Just save it. You know what I mean? Like if you want to invest, you can, but just really save it because you need to have more cash on hand when you're building and you're not at a place right now where it actually makes sense to start investing. You don't have enough cash on hand to actually do that based on what you're trying to do to keep growing. So just save your money. You know, after you get to a certain point, after you surpass the 6-figure revenue stage, then of course you'll have help to actually invest in other places. But the key thing is you gotta reinvest in other areas other than just music itself. All right, let's keep going. Now, you want to resupply the industry with product. The savvy artist will recognize that everyone around them gets paid first. That's a bar. They'll then strategize how to deliver a product back to the industry or negotiate lower prices from their music production suppliers, all while maintaining the highest possible quality. This approach allows artists to increase their revenue, profit margins, and gain more control over their creative output. Okay, 2 things here. They'll figure out how to resupply the industry with product because everybody gets paid in the industry before the artist gets paid. And if you're smart enough to learn this quickly, then you'll understand that we need to take some precautions and some measures as artists to fortify ourselves. Now, of course, we can't tell everybody to do work for us for free, but it would be great if we're getting started to get all of our production work done for as cheap as possible to keep and keeping the highest quality as possible during the process. Okay, so that we can have higher profit margins on the way up, and then as production costs increase, we've taken care of the money or the investment that was necessary to actually get us to the status where the production cost begins to creep up. You see what I'm saying? So that's just what it is there. You're going to want to figure out some other way to resupply something to the industry or pull more money out of the industry, if you will, to make more money for yourself. All right, let's keep going. You want to use your notoriety for leverage. Really smart artists understand that they're talented influencers with musical abilities. Another bar. They know that refining their talent combined with great promotional and awareness campaigns allows them to leverage their notoriety. This opens doors for selling products and obtaining brand partnerships that wouldn't otherwise be available. These opportunities enable them to gain more money and status, furthering their goals in the world. It's true. I think that what happens is artists that are just coming in the game focus on the music and forget that at the end of the day, they have an invisible force to leverage, and that's their brand, their notoriety, the fame, if you will. They can leverage the amount of fame they have or celebrity, if you will, that they have for money and opportunities so that they don't continue to go broke. And as you rise, you can continue to leverage this fame to transfer out of the music business into other areas as you built your name up. Okay, so that's just what it is. Let's keep going. Why do artists go broke? Artists go broke when they think they can be sustained by music and shows alone. The truth is they can't. After expenses, recording, marketing, promotional, manufacturing, and advances are fully recouped, many projects only break even, leaving straggling royalties as mere support. The same goes for shows. Soon the price will go down and people won't pay as much. Additionally, as an artist, you have to maintain your appearance, security, and lifestyle, and this is all costly. At the end of the day, you'll have little left from your profits to save. All right, so what happens is the record company actually makes more money on the upside of the album. Now, after it reaches its peak or maturity level or point, it will begin to come down after people have consumed it, you know, initially. Now, again, you all know my past videos, I talk about the retroactive period where a spike comes back in the album, right? But this doesn't happen until at the earliest 10 years down the line. So Once that revenue begins to decrease and it actually it clears its recouption rate, if you will, it recoups everything, if it does, then you'll have a little bit of royalties left over to sustain you, but not enough. So each album, you'll have just a set of royalties after recoupment here, then another set of royalties, then another set, and then another set. And it will stack on top of each other. And if you did really, really well, then all those albums stacked together will last you. They'll keep going down until they're retroactive periods. But again, you know, if you're trying to survive on music alone, it's going to be hard out here for you. Right? And that's just what it is. So what should I do as a new artist? Figure out why you decided to play the game in the first place and stay true to your vision. Start saving money as soon as you begin your career. Eventually, you'll invest in minor cash growing opportunities such as buying out publishing rights or stocks. Use some funds to create products to offer back to the industry if you choose, and set yourself up for a successful exit. Remember, at the end of the day, it's a game and everything will go back in the box. I mean, what I'm saying was really in the 15 unwritten laws of the music industry or something like that I put out last month. It's the same thing. You know what I mean? You save from the time that you get in to the time that you get out, and you got to figure out an exit point, okay? A point that you'll say, okay, that was my career there. I may still make music, but it doesn't make any sense to, because your brand is so big now that you don't necessarily need to keep creating these loss leader products if you know how to leverage your fame and your notoriety, as I said earlier in the video. You know, guys, it's like at some point you have to say, you know what? I'm setting out on this. This is what it is, and we're going to do it, right? And this is what we're going to do in the process to prevent ourselves from going broke. It may be a rugged road to get there, but we're going to make it. So long as we're aware that that's not what we're going to do. All right, let's keep going. But I want to make music for the rest of my life. You can, but after reaching a certain level of success, you'll realize that you may not want to stand in the spotlight forever, as I was just saying, especially if you don't have to. It will cheapen your brand and catalog as your notoriety wanes. People will only remember you when your fame was at its peak and your music was at its hottest. Additionally, constantly being in the spotlight can be emotionally and physically draining. Taking a step back allows you to recharge, find new inspiration, and potentially evolve your artistic style, which can lead to a more sustainable and fulfilling career in the long run. All right. And I just said that. That was just more to reiterate it there. I kind of jumped the gun, but it just is what it is, right? Here's what you should do. Stay independent as long as possible to refine your music offerings. Secure funding at the lowest cost to keep harsh middlemen out of the picture, and maintain control of your intellectual property and its administration in-house to prevent corruption. That's what you should do to make sure that you don't go broke in this game. Of course, you're going to need to leverage, you know, what you have so that you can bring in more outside money than what it is that you can provide. But at the end of the day, man, like, we just got to get it going and just know that I might go broke, but I won't be out. Or if I don't go broke, I'll be in the game, right? And so because everybody always reaches a point where they like, yo, the money's drying up. We got to make a pivot fast. It's just, it is what it is. I've gone through it. Others have gone through it, and you figure out what to do. But the one thing that I know for sure that lasts, so long as you preserve it, is that fame and that notoriety and that name. You can always leverage that. And that way, you will always be able to stay in the game, whether it not be music, but you'll always be in the game of money, if you will. So yeah, so music money makers, if you want to be in the game of money, then you're going to need to build your record label and your publishing company to support this whole process. And you're going to need to do it in 60 days or less with the foolproof step-by-step process. So I encourage you to jump into my course called the 60-Day Record Label Course beneath this video right now today. You'll gain the ability to get money for funding this record label right here that you're creating. You'll keep the middleman out of your pockets, and you'll prevent yourself from getting screwed contractually in this game. Now, if you're skeptical about the process and how it works, grab my free guide, 10 Major Steps to Increase Your Record Label's Profits. A free split sheet is included with the download, okay? Now, check it out. Here's your upside. If you heed these warnings, you won't feel so overwhelmed by the foolishness in the music business. It will make sense to you much quicker as you begin to rise in notoriety. Lastly, you'll learn to pivot and move faster than your enemies and leeches can catch you, right? Or leechers can catch you. It just, you know, I mean, that's the upside right there. I mean, just heed the warnings. Keep them in the back of your mind, and you'll be fine with this sucker. All right, let's go to the downside. If you forget about these warnings, the music business will continue to be a confusing dreamland where all of your wishes come true in horrifying ways, and you'll grow to hate the industry for its foolishness, and you may just want to quit. However, your departure could devastate your true fans, and without your presence, some might feel lost. That's true, because if you build up fans and you just ultimately go away, it's like, man, that really hurt me. And you don't realize how connected you are to people as you begin to rise in your fame. You know what I mean? So think about the lives that you're transforming as well on the way up. You know what I mean? All right, Music Money Makers. So if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump to the 60-day record label course beneath this video, grab the free stuff below, book a call there, smash the like button beneath this video, and guess what? I'll see you next time. Peace.